it over there by you?
I'm only say 3 or 4 down from Eric, but it's not bad. Quiet. Odd as that sounds.
Good sales? Are you red or you in the red? You're in the black yet?
Yeah, I was in the black. I good show, but class. I just had flight
That's good. I was noticing a lot of pictures from Artist Alley of people taking pictures of cosplayers and no crowd. So I was worried about the attendance.
Yeah, like overall, technology works. Pretty much the plan going on as far as the show. Here's people. It's just a matter of whether or not they actually are like going in the right place. Like they're getting in his area, like Derek's area, they're playing there now. They're gonna come over here in a few minutes. You know, it's what it is.
That's good. That's good. I'm glad that you're making money.
Yeah. Like yeah, hey girls, so excited.
All right, thanks for joining us. I appreciate it, sir. So I had Josh Lyman, reporting in from Wizard World. I was getting some audio disturbance. Don't know how bad it was for everyone out there, but hopefully it wasn't too bad. But I wanted to get back in there because we had Josh for a small amount of time. He's doing well. He's doing well at the show. He says he's about 3 tables down from where Eric is. So Eric Hodson, who was on with us earlier, so that's good. And they seem to be doing much better. The crowd seems a little bit more livelier. I seen some bags and people saying, so that's good. Earlier I was a little worried, a little concerned that there was going to be no people weren't going to be spending money. However, there are cons all over the place this weekend. I think there's one in Fairfax and there's another one in Toronto. People seem to be at this fine Saturday afternoon. A lot of people from Chicago went to the Toronto show, so I don't know why that is, but as a stockholder of Wizard, I need you to go to that Wizard show. Trying to cash out, yo. So yeah, we're gonna be back shortly. Gonna have Randy Zimmerman back with me and a couple other people. So yeah, you guys stay tuned. I may stay live. Just give you guys a bunch of dead air. How'd you like that? Dead air? Yeah, that sounds fine. All right, we'll be back shortly. There you go. All right. How's it going?
As you see, I changed the shirt.
Yeah.
Other than that, what?
No, I had Josh in for a little while, discussing how his Wizard World Chicago was going. No complaints from Josh. No complaints from Josh Lyman. Says that everything seems to be going well. He's about 3 tables down from Eric Hodson. So
And Eric said it stunk. So there you go. That's like I said. It depends on who's getting what success themselves.
It's one of those shows where I don't know if I've gone to Wizard and I've had
It
an
doesn't
amazing
matter
show.
Wizard, it could be the small press, the one I was going to until recently. Because other people will tell me, well, no, you're wrong. Just because you didn't make any money doesn't mean nobody did.
Yeah, I've had great experiences at that show. Great, like profits.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next year I've gone back and not did as well. But we haven't been back in about 3 or 4 years now. So I'm eager to get back. I'm very eager to get back. I do miss the show. I do miss the city of Rosemont. But just haven't been able to get back. Usually something comes up or it's just financially not in the cards. So
I'm trying to think of where is Rosemont?
Just outside of O'Hare Airport, actually.
Okay. Yeah. That's probably why I wasn't thinking about it.
Yeah, it's just at the airport. In fact, I mean, it pretty much is the airport in a way.
Yeah, okay. I was like an hour. I used to live in Illinois, about an hour north of Chicago.
Okay, yeah, they're right by Schaumburg. I think Schaumburg and Elk Grove kind of bump right into Rosemont.
Okay. Well, I went down there, but not very often. I mean, I was only 11 to 13 years old when we lived in Illinois.
Okay.
So I wasn't really. My father taught in Chicago. The time I went down there was if I had to go to work with him, so, which is really fun when you're going into inner city high schools as a junior high level kid, and you're going, yeah, that's what I need. But anyway,
I wonder if like in particular too, because I've talked to some people who've done, they've done shows. Apparently, I missed a good time. The old Chicago Comic-Con shows used to be.
Yeah, those used to be good.
Yeah, and I missed out. I'm too young. I didn't go to those. But that's the show that Wizard bought and turned into what we have now, which is Wizard World Chicago.
Right.
So I guess I missed out on those, but it is kind of.
Let's face it, the '80s shows and early '90s comic conventions were a lot better than the ones we have today. I'm sorry, they just were. In terms of coverage of comics and representation of creators. Now everything's a pop culture media spectacle, and it's video games, it's actors, it's everything but comics.
Do you think comic shows did that because, hey, that's a good idea, we should get those people involved, or do they do that because, you know what, we're missing out on money?
Started that stuff, and Wizard started that because I presume Gareb Shamus wanted to be Big Kahuna, type person, and the best way to do that was to get things that nobody else had, which at that time was getting more celebrities and more pop cultural.
I just wonder if they did that and thought, okay, well, we'll do these.
We always had pop culture people. I mean, there was always, 3 to 5 older actors, that were in classic cinema or classic television of science fiction or fantasy genre or horror genre or superhero genre. Like Randy and I have said in the past, they used to have Playboy bunnies and other models there at the shows, but they were guests, but they weren't given precedence over the comic book creators.
Right. Now you pull up in any show and they've got a big graphic on the digital billboard of
nothing but the actors.
Yeah.
And there's nobody mentioned in comics, even if you got a Todd McFarlane or a Jim Lee, maybe they got on there, but nobody else hardly. It's like it's total crap.
Yeah. Do you think the other shows, the smaller shows, or the shows run by a particular individual, not one of these big corporations,
Mm-hmm.
they followed suit because, well, he's doing it, so I got it now.
Well, they're not really following suit per se. I mean, they're kind of doing what was done 30 years ago, but at the same time, they don't have the number of talent at these shows. They only get, 20, 30 creators instead of 80 to 100. And it's, again, the focus is on other things. It's not really on comics so much as it is cosplay and other pop cultural things. Hey, come see the movies that we're going to be airing. Come see, let's go talk about the manga, or not the manga, the anime, I should say. It's very strange to me. I hardly ever find out what the panels are even about at a show because they're just not. They're not even connecting to the creators. Is what I see. It's like, oh, well, the cosplayers have like 4 or 5 of them, and the creators have none. That's like, well, gee, okay, and we can't even market ourselves. What's going to talk about?
Yeah,
And the thing is, I've done a few shows where I did have panels, and 3, maybe 5 people showed up to the panel, and everybody else is just out there, walking around. That's all they're doing. They're not buying. Just, it's just like we're just doing a little conga line. It isn't a conga line up and down the aisles in costume, and it's like, what the hell are you here for? I'm sorry, I just don't understand that. I mean, I'm not against people coming in costume, but I don't. Who wants to walk up and down aisles for 8 hours?
Well, there are those
Just
that
walk up and down in a costume. Yes, you stop and you get photos taken, and it's nice to see you. And yes, I'm the center of the universe, but no, for 8 hours, come on.
There are those.
If you're a paid model to do it, yeah, I could see it, but you're not a paid model. You're a fanboy. You're a fangirl. What the? Yeah. Well, someday, if I'm popular enough, I'll become a model. No, not likely.
I think that
you're probably not going to be the next Yaya Han. You're probably not going to be the next Riddle.
But just to put,
and the fact is, when you think about those people like Riddle, Miracle, and Chris Burns, Yaya, they're not cosplayers. They're professional actors. They're professional stunt people. They're professional costume designers for film and television. And that's how the hell they should be advertised at shows, not as cosplay guests.
So you don't believe that they should be?
I'm not saying that it doesn't cosplay. I'm saying that's not how they should be advertised by a venue.
Do you think do you think to be called a cosplayer should be offensive to them? Considering
that's up to them.
Okay.
But to me, the fact is that they are professional Hollywood professionals for all intents and purposes, and not just because they run, because Riddle and Yaya run on Heroes of Cosplay, but because Riddle has done. She was an X-Men First Class. She was on 2 or 3 other Marvel films as a set designer and costume designer. Chris Burns, he's the guy who's one of the costume designers for Black Lightning, for the Black Lightning suit.
I wonder if, and yeah, I mean, I think that there are some people who get into cosplay. Some people do it for the fun of it, and I really like those. I like those people. I like cosplayers who come to the show and they dress as a favorite character. There is a respectable way to do it, because I don't think that sometimes people understand when they come to those shows, they need to come to them and understand that when you walk through Artist Alley, you are fighting for eyeballs. And if you walk past someone's table and now everyone's eyes are turned toward you. Everyone's looking at you. Everyone wants to take a picture with you. They're no longer looking at those items that someone has painstakingly made, painstakingly paid for, and now their attention is drawn to you. They take the picture and they move along. And there's nothing that, I mean, honestly, there's nothing that you're gonna do. Like, you can't get any money from them. You're a cosplayer. So now they're walking you. I mean, I've seen.
What you can do is hire your own cosplayer to stand there and represent you.
Yeah.
And
I've seen people.
There's lots of people who used to do that, but now it's kind of like, okay, so now what?
Yeah,
I person there.
I've seen people. I've seen Disney princesses lately, which I think is great. Disney princesses walk through Artist Alley,
right?
And they'll have a trail of little girls following them. And they act like they're being paid by Disney. They all drop down to their knees. They give the little girls hugs. They talk to them. They actually perform in character as Snow White or Belle or Cinderella, whoever it is, and they perform in character.
They could do it.
Yeah, but they don't understand it. When you're doing that in Artist Alley, you're creating a commotion in a way, and you're taking eyeballs away from these artists who have their comic set up or the art set or whatever it is they're trying to sell. So that is something that we have to kind of, maybe if we can talk to cosplayers about. I would like to tell them, look, just when you're walking through Artist Alley, keep in mind that you are probably taking money out of someone's pocket, because no one, people, they don't.
Well, some of the people like Yaya or Allegra Torres or some of the others, they might come in costume.
Yeah.
And they're in costume and they're on. On as well. But they'll stop by your table and say, hey, I saw this or I saw that or stuff. I like that. Here's my assistant. He's going to buy it or she's going to buy it. Or they say, can you put that aside for me? And they'll come back when they're not in costume. And
yeah.
And that's really, what I think cosplayers need to learn how to do is get a second to go with them and not dress them in costume.
I know that some shows like Motor City have a cosplay area off to the back of the show.
Right. That's fine. They should have a cosplay area, but you got to remember what happens with the cosplay area is probably going to be photographers with a green screen. And now the cosplayers are going to go back there and they're going to spend their money. Whoop, you cut me out.
No, I didn't. You're still there.
They're going to go to the green screen section and get photos of themselves instead of buying stuff from the artists. So that takes away from artists too, unfortunately.
I think that is.
That's just the way it is. I mean,
Yeah, they
if you're going to have that, I think that the showrunners should let that be known so that we as creators are aware of it. I don't want to come to a convention that didn't have it for 7 years in a row, and all of a sudden you got 5 of them outside in the hallway. And I'm going, where are all the people? Because, they're outside in the hallway waiting to get their pictures taken.
I did a con. I didn't do the con, actually. That's a lie. I remember a con a couple years ago, and they had a strict no cosplay policy. And, oh, my gosh, they were getting hammered online. Why don't you want cosplayers? Why don't you want cosplay? Your con's horrible. I wouldn't come ever. I'm telling my friends not to come to your show. And it was
that's just them being jackasses.
Yeah.
You don't have to rant about it. You don't like the policy, don't go to the show.
Yeah,
that's fine. But you don't need to rant about it.
Yeah, I think that they like I've heard people say, look, there's no costume contest here. Why come in cosplay? And I guess I can understand that argument. I don't think I've ever gone to a con that didn't have
my rule is
contest.
I would rather have it be cosplay be limited to 13 and under. I don't think. I mean, okay, if a parent, can the parent call ahead and say, hey, my kid wants to play. I don't know, what's his name, the little speedster from The Incredibles, Dash.
Yeah.
And Dad goes, well, can I be Mr. Incredible? Okay, I might say, all right. It's or something like that to that. But, just to have, if it's a whole family, not just a bunch of friends dressed up
Yeah.
as characters, but maybe. But I don't know. It's weird to me anymore because they've turned it into a spectacle that didn't need to be.
Mhm.
It used to be when people came in costume. Oh, okay, you're in costume. That's cool. Some people would take photos. That's fine. But they didn't. You didn't have 35 Spider-Man in the center of Artist Alley trying to do a group photo session.
Yeah, we just had that. It wasn't 35. It was 8 or 9 Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
They were right by my table. They weren't in the way of my table at all, but they were, diagonal.
They were blocking traffic.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah. And they come with some elaborate
There's no
poses too.
reason to be there in the middle of that stuff. That's what you go outside for in the main hall areas, or you go outside for your group shoots, for that sort of thing. That's what that stuff is for, And we were all looking around. Were you? I mean, most of them just walk around aimlessly with their backpacks on their back.
Yeah.
And it's like you can't even see through the face masks that well. So I know you're not looking at artwork. Mm-hmm. I know you're not looking at comics.
If the conventions, if I was a promoter and I really wanted to double my money, I would put up make my entrance fee at the door, because there's a lot of people who come into the what's it, the almost at a vestibule, but the coming to the atriums or the promenade areas, and they have no intention of buying a pass to even get into the show. So they're just out in that area.
The cosplayers are free anyway.
Yeah. Well, not a wizard. You got to pay, but I've seen them stand outside.
I'm talking about these smaller shows.
Yeah, Randy's had problems with people sneaking in. He was telling me, he's got plans to change that, because people have been sneaking into the shows, waltzing in, and just not paying. But some shows, those people come outside, and I was at that Kentucky Con, and there were people that were upset because they could not get into the common area of the show to be, see and be seen. They had an intention of buying a ticket, but they stopped them at the door. So they were in the common food court, and they looked like morons because people were walking around shopping and everything. And here you are dressed as, your favorite anime character. You're totally out of place. You need to be down that hall, but you can't get into that hall because they got a ticket booth right there. No entry past this point. You can go socialize, but you gotta go pay first. And Wizard lets you right into that little common area. And I've seen cosplayers out there. They're all bumped. And there's nobody has a pass. Nobody has a lanyard or wristband. Yes. Yeah. I just got reminded. Youmacon was horrible for that. The area outside of the con was full of cosplayers and photographers, and they had no passes. And they had lanyards. No one had a lanyard. Not a single person had a lanyard. And you're wondering, well, are you coming to the show? No, because when I walked into the show, I had so much elbow room. There was not a point where I felt like I was jockeying for position. No one was in that show floor, and they had no intention of getting into that show floor as long as they can come to that show and be seen. Eric Hudson, who we had on earlier, has asked certain cosplayers, "Hey, you got any pockets on to that costume?" Because they're walking through Artist Alley, they're walking around the con, and they have no intention. They are fighting for the same money.
I hear that argument all the time. Why would I make pockets? It doesn't look right. I said, don't you think that these idiots, it's like nobody carries any money, really? Nobody carries any money or a credit card or anything on their costumes, really. You're dressed as goddamn Deadpool.
Yeah.
There's pouches everywhere. Put your damn money in something.
Well, the thing is, they're fighting. They are fighting for the same attention you are.
You can't freaking figure out how to put a slot in the arm guard for your money.
Exactly.
It's like, no, they don't want to spend money. That's all. They're there for themselves.
Exactly.
And that's why there's it's not an anti cosplayer community sentiment. It's an anti attitude. You're welcome if you're here to support the people who make it run. You aren't the ones who make it run. The creators are. Everybody thinks, well, the creators wouldn't exist without fans. Bullshit. We made the characters. You wouldn't have anything to be a fan of if we didn't start it.
I think that
That's the bottom line.
I think that the thing is they don't understand. They don't mean any harm.
They don't offensive or anything.
Yeah. They just don't understand that when they come in there dressed some of these elaborate costumes, which I know they spent hours, days, months on, that they are now competing with you for the attention of
everybody else.
So they become competition for you, and they didn't pay a $400 interest fee.
Right. They got in for free.
Got in for free or
reduced. But I'm not making any money because they're taking pictures of me free. So I'm not taking anything away from you. That's what they're gonna tell you.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, it's female Punisher with her 37 triple Ds standing up on her tippy toes and putting the girls on top of the back issue boxes asking for assistance from the vendors. And everybody's going, really? And she's don't get me wrong, she's completely covered from the neck down.
Yeah.
But, who wants someone to put in? It's just like, come on.
When you're with a woman like that for 9 years, almost 10 years now, you get used to it. Those go everywhere.
I know Krista does not do, or Lola does not pick them up in her hands.
No,
in her hands and step up on her tippy toes and place the girls on top of the back issue boxes and ask for assistance. I know damn well she doesn't. She's classy.
No. Yeah. She only uses those to her advantage when she has to. And no. She's never put them on top of the back issue box. You need to do that. You need to put the girls on the back issue box. No, okay, yeah, not putting the girls on. I got some back issue boxes here. We'll get a picture. We will get a picture of that, and next time you bring it up, we'll put a graphic up.
No. You have to see it to believe it, though. I mean, it has to be in a show. It doesn't, it's really. I mean, a lot of the vendors laugh about it because they know they're being played.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, when you see someone doing that, that affects all the other cosplayers in the room.
Mm-hmm.
Because now there's someone putting themselves out there in an inappropriate manner.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if that person's going to do it, what are the other girls going to do?
All right.
And that's what I'm against.
Yeah. Well, we're going to go on break for a little while longer here. I will remove both of us from the stream. I'm going to keep the screen up, though, because I got more people coming in. And I will see you. Oh, wait.
Oh, there's Randy.
Yeah. Randy, did you find the gnomes?
No, we didn't think we were gonna, but we did discover that they hit the neighbor's house too. So he had it's a motorcycle dude, and he had a lot more intricate gnomes than we did. So we're starting to think maybe we were the afterthought.
Wow.
They seem to have cleaned out his space except for one gray one. They left a couple of mangy ones for us and cleaned them all out of the front part under the tree or under the bonsai tree we have out front.
Mm-hmm.
And everything off the porch. Wife's pretty broken up about it.
Ooh,
yeah,
I know
well over $100 worth of gnomes is what she says.
I know you wish you would have called them.
Are we live? We're live.
Yeah, we are.
Here I am here with my bald head. I need to get a hat.
Well, hold on 1 second, guys. I'm going to leave the stream for a second. I'll be right back.
All right. What's been going on? Live Wizard World coverage.
Yeah, well, the person that was there cut out before I came in, so I don't.
But we're still live. Oh, we've only been live for 33 minutes, so
yeah,
he was off for a little bit.
Yeah, but we were talking about different changes over the years with the conventions and how cosplay is both positive and negatives of it, stuff like that.
Yeah. It's a lot nicer scenery in some aspects, but on the other hand, none of them spend money.
Right.
So, and that was a Pat Broderick's wife made a big stink about that a year or two ago.
Mm-hmm. Well,
about how they come, but they don't buy.
Yeah, there's a lot of people making a stink about it for years now. I mean, it's
my big thing that I figured out doing the show, they're doing even my little local shows. A lot of them invite themselves and don't pay admission.
Yeah, we were talking. Yeah, we were.
and then enter the cosplay contest. So
Yeah, we were talking about that.
starting this show, we're making everybody wear wristbands, and I'll be checking everybody's wrist before we announce them for the cosplay contest. And if they don't have one, they get the choice of either running down and paying admission, or getting off and away from the runway.
Mhm.
So I won't give them nothing. I won't give them the time of day. They
Are
don't
you
want to
still-
pay me admission.
You're still gonna give kids like a lanyard, even though they get it for free, right? Or not
Yeah.
right now, you know.
Yeah, we have two different wristbands.
Okay.
But yeah, we're gonna have to change them from show to show and double check people, and because before we had a couple of stamps we knew were really hard to find, hand stamps that we were stamping people with, a dragon or a Tinkerbell, and now we'll have to get a little bit more serious because some people don't want to play by the rules.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they still want that prizes. They still want them prizes. Just like I guess they want to go gnome shopping, but they don't want to pay for.
Yeah. That's unfortunate. I really broke my heart.
That's just low. So we're gonna get a security camera and
Yeah.
point it at the front porch, and we're gonna tell the neighbor to do the same thing. So
That's
what can you do? You file a police report, it won't go anywhere. So unless somebody suddenly stumbles across them, we don't have pictures of them, so they don't even know what they look like. Looking for a suddenly appearing gnome, unpaid for. Everybody must pull their receipts. Yeah.
That's unfortunate. I really hate that happened because we had just made comments like, oh, all those gnomes. We originally were gonna put some gnomes on our table, our convention table.
Yeah.
Our mascot as a little gnome, and I was like, well, we got some down here. We never did that, so we'll give them to Randy's, him and his wife, and so they would, they'll have them, and at least the gnomes will be taken care of there because they're rotting in a cabinet down here right by my left foot. So yeah, but
Don't bring them over now. They'll probably be taken. So.
yeah.
They didn't touch the gnomes in the back.
Well,
So-
yeah, they probably were afraid to come in the backyard.
Well, they went right down the street, and they hit the neighbor right next to us,
Mm.
right along the street. And he had a whole fenced off area where he had a half a dozen, motorcycle riding gnomes, a motorcycle mama gnome, a leather gnome,
Were they there this morning when you left? I know you went for a walk and you came back.
They were there. I'm pretty sure they were there when I took the wife to work. She's pretty sure they were there when she went to work. So they disappeared, sometime today, sometime.
In the middle of the day, and nobody noticed.
Yep. Well, I didn't notice. I haven't been upstairs, so I've been down here working.
I'm just talking about other people
Yeah.
in the neighborhood that might have.
We had the lawn guy in today, but I'm pretty sure they were gone before he got there. So
Mm.
he's an older, he's a guy,
Yeah.
He's not that interested in gnomes other than the fact that he was sorry he hit one time.
Mm.
So
I had Josh Lyman on earlier. He's gonna join me again later on tonight after the show to get his opinion. He says I think he said he was in the black. I couldn't make out. It was some audio distortion, but he did say that he's a couple tables down from Eric.
okay.
So about 3 tables down.
Uh-huh.
So I guess and he seemed to be rather pleased with what was going on at the show. So
That's cool.
Eric did send me a couple of cool pictures of some really good cosplays from the show. But me and Lewis were talking about cosplayers, and I was saying that I don't think some cosplayers notice or understand that they are at some point in competition with the vendors when they walk through Artist Alley for those eyeballs. Because someone sees a piece of art they like, they're intrigued, they want to buy it, they're thinking about it, and then here comes Hawk Girl with full expanding wings.
Yeah.
And
I've had that. I've seen that before.
yeah, and they're like, oh my god, and they're behind her with their phone. Can I get a picture? Can I get a picture?
Yeah.
And they get the picture, and then they're gone. And you're like, I almost had that guy to buy a print or a piece of original art, and now he's not going to.
I don't think that's nearly as bad as the fact that a lot of the cosplayers don't spend money when they're there. They just want to be seen.
Yeah.
That's all. And then they get mad when they, anyway. They don't understand what the market was like. We've had that discussion a lot.
Yeah.
10, 12 years ago, when it was unusual to see a female at a comic show in the first place, let alone one dressed up provocatively. So
It's funny. We were talking about that, and my wife, she gets kind of provocative at some shows. It depends on the show,
Yeah.
but she had told me well, just recently she decided. I think I told you guys she friended some artists, and now she gets up to 138 friend requests a day. Well, she's got another 100 something today. Well, finally today, she gets a message. She's getting a call. Yeah, Randy, I think she was on with you at one point. She gets a call like, this is one of his Facebook friends calling me. No. So he messages her, please answer my calls. And he messages her, what was it? You're beautiful or sexy, was it? And he tells her, she's like, thank you. Answer my calls, please. No. Why not? I'm married. He keeps calling in. It's like that did nothing but turn him on. I'll keep calling in. He called her 20 times. 20 times he called her. I thought you should have answered the phone. What do you want?
That's a silly question.
Yeah.
I told her that's what happens when you start posting pictures of her from the waist up. People are gonna call and want to be your friend.
He said that's what happens when post pictures of you from the waist up. People want. Yeah.
Why not just block the phone number?
She did. Well, no, it's not the phone number. It's a Facebook profile. Someone's your Facebook friend, Yeah. And so she blocked that person. Yeah, she did block that person.
Well, when you said call, I thought you meant phone call.
Yeah, no, not a phone call. No. She blocked the. Okay. They did the Facebook call.
Okay, gotcha. All right.
Yeah.
I mean, I block numbers like 3 to 6 times a week.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now the cool thing is she just blocked him. She didn't chain block everybody because you only have 2 alternatives. You can block an individual,
right?
Or you can turn off calling for your entire profile. She's done that for Instagram. She didn't do it for Facebook, but and she does. I don't know if she's gonna do Facebook because sometimes I call her for Facebook. But yeah, that's I imagine that that's a problem that's gonna grow pretty soon.
Well, if she's getting 100 and some friends a day, yeah.
Yeah.
You're gonna get a couple of those a day that don't have any manners.
No.
You're bound.
I wish I would get those calls. I don't get those. No one. What's wrong, ladies? What's wrong? So we are day 3 of Wizard World Chicago. My stock has not went up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very upset.
You expected it to?
Yes, I did. I thought.
I'm waiting for the Phase 5 announcements from D23.
Have they not announced it yet? They haven't.
They should be. I don't know. They might have. I just haven't checked the news sites. We're supposed to have Tom Holland walk out on stage.
I wonder, will he? I wonder if he. That would be really cool if he did. Okay, guys, everything's cool. Don't worry. But yikes. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm not. And we don't get we're not getting Disney Plus until November, correct?
Yeah.
Either one of you into the old school role-playing games at all?
No.
No, depends on the role-playing game. I played
well,
a teenager.
what I was asking is because one of the founders of the old stuff from Flying Buffalo Games passed away today. Rick Loomis. And he's been around since 1970, I think. He was in the business. And he died of cancer. He had lymphatic cancer that was announced in January, I think it was. January or February.
Mm-hmm.
And, he just passed away today, unfortunately. And he was, I think he was maybe 69 or 70.
That's it's unfortunate. I hate to hear that. I used to play Shadowrun and D&D. Randy, it says that Tom Holland has hit the stage.
River Tunnels and Trolls.
It says Tom Holland has hit the stage. made an appearance at Disney's D23 Expo in Anaheim today, just days after this from Deadline. Just days after Disney and Sony standoff over the Spider-Man film franchise ended, with Marvel Studios and Kevin Feige no longer being involved in it. It's been a crazy week. Holland said from the stage that I want you to know I am grateful from the bottom of my heart, and I love you 3000. Holland was there to promote Disney and Pixar's Onward, an upcoming animated film in which he stars with Jurassic World and Guardians of the Galaxy Chris Pratt as teenage elf brothers who embark on a quest to discover if there's still a little magic left out there. I don't know if he spoke on what was happening, but he probably can't contractually. Let's see here. Yeah, I don't see. He says, who knows what the future holds?
Black Panther 2 set for 2022.
Yeah.
But we knew that was coming.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They'd be idiots not to. Hopefully it'll have Storm in it.
He says, all I know is that I'm going to continue playing Spider-Man and having the time of my life. It's going to be fun, however we choose to do it. The future of Spider-Man will always be different, but it'll be equally as awesome and amazing, and we'll find new ways to make it even cooler.
They were hoping to have everything set before he walked out.
Yeah. I was hoping they would too, but I really do think they're going to figure it out because, it's a lot right now. It's a lot of posturing.
We're not taking our time. We're really trying to get it right, Coogler said at the introduction schedule, of the production schedule.
In regards to
treatment complete with a villain, new title, Black Panther 2.
Okay.
Furthest out. It's the furthest out announced film. They only announced Black Panther 2 then. Unannounced film for July 29th. Although whether Marvel will keep date just 2 months after Black Panther 2 is up in the air. Nope, they didn't announce a name. They just said it was coming. So, an official title. Just Black Panther 2.
Yep.
Let's see.
They can call it Black Panther 2. Just don't get rid of Boseman. That's all. Don't get rid of him too fast.
Yeah. I think that Boseman and you don't want to get rid of Chadwick, and you don't want to get rid of.
They really want to bump Shuri up into that role. If not her, then if not into Black Panther, then as Ironheart. So that's what they're saying.
Got to be interesting. Let's see here. Let me see if I can bring anything up here. We aren't that far removed from let's see here. Some of the other cons that have come up. We have I was looking to see if I had anybody that I knew at Fairfax that brought them in to see if I can judge the crowd reaction. But yeah. No one I know is like answering their messages. So,
yeah, same here.
Yeah. Where are you? Come on in. If the shows, and I was talking to some people last night, and 2 artists that I know said, I stopped doing comics. I came in this industry with my own little comic. And I started going to shows, and I was coming out, in the red, totally in the red. Like, I didn't make money back. I spent money on food. I didn't make anything at that show. I sold a couple comics, but not enough to cover anything. And that's why I moved on to prints. And then the prints started selling, and I started making more prints. And all of a sudden, I don't have time for my comics anymore. But these prints are bringing in about $2 to $3 grand a month extra. And now they're telling me this year they're reporting like they're down. Some of them said they never seen it be down this far. And the theory that I floated, the funny thing is my comic sales are up.
Mm-hmm.
My print sales are down. Are we seeing an adjustment to the market where now people are coming for that original independent content and not so much for the cool picture of Deadpool or Batman that you might have?
Well, I think you might be seeing more readers coming back in looking for original books, especially considering, how the retailers have been lately.
Mhm.
If they're carrying all Marvel and DC product, they might be looking through Artist Alley for something unique and fun to read.
Mhm.
But I've noticed a lot of the print guys are disappearing, thinning out quite a bit. So
a lot of the printing guys I know, they started off of a comic book. They had a comic first, and for whatever reason, the comic went away, and they started doing the prints, and now they're known as print guys. They got a wall of prints behind them, and they have to because they have to pay the bills. And the comic wasn't
Right.
comic wasn't.
Yep.
And that's unfortunate. I hate hearing that you can't move your book, because how else do you get that new idea out there? How else do you join
Your characters and T-shirts of your characters and other stuff, I guess. I mean,
you know what? The worst piece of advice I probably ever received, and some you guys might say it's the worst advice ever. I was at a panel that /workshop/ seminar at Wizard World Chicago many years ago, before I decided to throw away money into the abyss that is making comics. And the guy who was on stage, I forget his name, but he had worked at Marvel and Wizard, and he had told me, he says, okay, imagine you're a really cool T-shirt that you like, okay, your favorite character.
okay.
How much are you willing to pay for that shirt? Favorite shirt, awesome shirt, your favorite character.
I mean, assuming it's art I like and the image is something I like,
Yeah.
probably 20.
Okay, 20.
yeah,
Randy, 20. Okay, take that and slash it in half.
okay,
That's what you can put your original IP shirts out there for.
wow,
And so I was like, oh, okay, all right. Well, because I fell about the $20-$25 range of mine. I'm like, okay, so $10. Problem with that is that that's very hard to do.
Yep.
It's very hard to get your image put on the shirt with any lasting quality for under $10. Because remember, you don't want to lose money. You don't want to be like me. I told Randy earlier about my story with my hats. You don't want to pay $10 for a shirt or $20 for a shirt and sell it for 10. You can't do that. You're going to lose money. You're going to go out of business real soon. So yeah, I mean, what I started doing, unfortunately, is I had some shirts that I had made. We did have those screen printed pretty cheap, and right now I'm at the point where I just get rid of them because we're down to like really small sizes.
Okay.
And people read and buy them at shows like we had hoped they would. Now, Randy.
Hey, Randy's the T-shirt guy,
Yeah. And I didn't realize that when I was getting the shirts made that Randy was the T-shirt guy.
Nobody talks to me about T-shirts anymore.
Yeah,
so, it's okay.
But he did tell me earlier. He said he couldn't believe what I told him. My hats. We make Last Call Comics hats. We have two different designs. This is our current design. Cool. It's embroidered. Last Call Comics.
Very nice.
Very nice hat, snapback. And they come in some different colors. Green, black and yellow, like you saw. We have a white one, all white. But anyway,
cool.
Those hats cost me a pretty penny.
Yeah.
Every time
what do they cost per unit?
Well, that's the thing. Every hat I sell, I lose $15.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a lot of money to lose.
Yeah, for every hat that I sell, I lose $15 from the minute Yeah. And it's
I do vinyl press shirts or press hats for customers for $9 a hat. And they're snapback baseball caps.
Yeah, I think my last receipt,
and I make money at it. I don't make a lot of profit, but I make enough profit.
Those last receipts for those hats, I think I was paying about $26, $27 a unit.
Yeah. You're embroidered too, though. Like we said, that stuff's
Yeah.
going on. That's not cheap
Yeah.
because they have to charge so much per stitch.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I lose $15 a hat, and yeah.
See, I wasn't even thinking about that because I mean, you go to a hat store, or a sporting goods store like Foot Locker or anything like that, and they have the hats.
Mhm.
They're $30, $40, $50. Now I know why.
Yeah.
well, that also on that with Foot Locker in that they have to pay to have a tape done of the embroidery, but they do it in mass.
Mhm.
When they charge 30, they know that you're expecting to pay 25 to 30, though invested into it, they have incredibly small amount because they're buying in volume and they're
Right.
able to get their per unit cost way down.
Yeah. Well, I'm not saying they're not making profit, but I
That's why I was telling Varian that if next time he goes to have them done, get a couple dozen, get 3 or 4 dozen and have them all done at once, and he'll see his per unit cost shrink down to next to nothing. Because any big embroiderer has a 7-head machine that's sewing 7 of the same design at simultaneously.
Yeah, it's a pain, and the hats, unfortunately, I noticed the hats don't move as fast as I want them to. I remember one year, actually, I tried a new setup, and we put the hats up. We started our lights and everything, and we sit down, and the first sale was a hat, and I thought, hallelujah, I've discovered the problem. I know how to sell the hats now. It's just this new display because we have hat racks on the display. So like that's it. And we didn't sell any more hats that day, but it was pretty cool. But now we're trying to we got t-shirts, we got hats, we got gosh, I don't know if I have one up here. Oh yeah, we do. I got these little. You guys see that?
Yeah. I see.
Beer flash drives.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You try anything, won't you?
Yeah. I'll sell you anything. If it's got a beer on it, man, we'll sell it to you.
How many gigs is that for a 4 gig drive?
This particular one's an 8 gig drive. Yeah, 8 gig drive, and it comes with an exclusive print on it, which is stupid. I know, because someone can take the print and print all themselves, but it comes with an exclusive print on it, and had a coupon on it too if you want to buy a shirt or something or use it on our online store. And that coupon's expired on all the ones that we have. And these go for, was it $10?
That should be your digital goal for your crowdfunding when you do your Tipsy collection.
Yeah, they get the
sell the book on the flash drive.
Yeah.
Or whatever, $25 or
yeah.
Get a handy 4 gig flash drive filled with Tipsy strips.
What do you say? Yeah. You know what that stuff is that? I also have beer candles. They're engraved with Last Call Comics.
Do they smell like beer when they're burned?
They do smell like beer when they're burned. Nice little beer wafted. It actually looks pretty nice. But the cool thing about them is that once it's all gone, you can pull the wick out and it becomes a glass. Those go for 10. I'm sorry, that were 5. They were 5 at one point. Now they're 10. That's the only thing that's actually go. Yeah, our supplier went up for those. So we got those. We got all these little extra little knickknacks and doodads that we sell. Yeah, we even have you handle them. Or you know where they're at? Oh, yeah, we have beer socks. Beer socks. One point we had beer leggings for women, but only women are wearing leggings now for some reason. They've all decided not to wear them this year. I don't get it. Yeah, beer dresses. Anything that was covered in beer, we sold it. And I'll show you guys this. I'll share this with the community at large. Hold on. Oops.
Bob Kraus from RAK Graphics used to do a new tchotchke a year.
Mm-hmm.
He was always a year ahead of everybody at the shows. It's a guy, RAK Graphics. Have you ever seen him? He sells the little cards at the show now, the cartoon cards, because he loves doing, they almost look like angry Funko Pops.
That sounds very familiar. His name sounds.
Yeah, he did Shakan, the Forever Warrior, Thunder Man.
Yeah.
Every year he'd have a new tchotchke, and then the following the following year at the shows, everybody would have the tchotchke he had last year.
Yeah, everybody went to the enamel pins hard. We didn't, but now they can't sell them.
Yeah.
So here is the my online store for Last Call Comics. Got it broke down to comic books, merch, comics, wearables. Let's click in the wearables, shall we? So those are some of the hats. You see what I was telling you earlier, Randy?
Yeah.
This is our logo, and you can still see this on some of our stuff.
Yeah, that's a lot of colors.
Yeah, and the thing was though, that cost is no different, but I took that out because parents don't want to buy that for their children.
Yeah,
It's got a beer on it. I'm not gonna buy it for my kids. Sorry. So yeah, we don't. We still have that hat. We still have those hats. Some of those hats like that, but very few of them. We got shirts and other stuff, but shirts, hats, dresses. It's our tech. It's 8 gigabyte. Yep, USB flash drive. Oops. Drinkware. That's we don't have the candle on here for some reason, but there's our jumbo glass mug. $10. Fill up with a delicious beverage. But there's that. And then coffee mug, which we have in mass. I think, Randy, did I ever give you one of these?
no, you haven't. And I collect mugs too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll get one. You'll get one. My wife is trying to clearance them out, even if they're free.
So ever bring it to the show.
Yeah. And then we got, the comics there, and Living the SOS Retrieve, which is actually off a pre-order. I'll fix that now. Catharsis. Facade sold out. Number 2 was sold out. Wow, okay, I should check that out. 1. And it was some things. This is Store Envy, and they were our store. In fact, a couple other publishers use Store Envy for their cart and all that good stuff. But the funny thing about it is that a couple of months ago, Store Envy decided I paid like $5 a month for some extra little perks. And then they decided, oh, that perk package you're paying $5 for is really, really popular. Let's break it up. So they went in and they took things out, so now I can't run my discounts. I used to run a little discount every month, 10% off. Get you in the store buying something. Maybe it killed your tax, right?
Mm-hmm.
I used to do a little, suits for Super Bowl. I did a special, put in, Super Bowl, whatever, or not Super Bowl, big game 10 and save 10%. And now that's a part of a different package. And you got to pay like $15-20 a month to get that entire package. Well, I hate to say it, but if I'm not making $15 a month on my store, I'm just giving you guys money.
Mm-hmm.
And I refuse. So I have the basic, sale package now. And there's another company out there I've been thinking about switching over to, because Store Envy, I don't know if you notice that, but you can't show, like, a person has to click on the comic to see the whole cover.
Right.
Otherwise they get a little square. So so they get a little square like that big, and you'd have to click on it to see it.
Yeah, I'm familiar with Store Envy.
Yeah, some people want to see the whole thing, and there is a site out there that does allow it. The name is slipping right now, but I did make an account there, so we'll see how that works out. But yeah, so that's where you go through as an indie creator, man. It sucks. That sucks. I went out.
I had that problem back in the 90s.
Yeah.
It didn't cost that much. I'm like, what happened?
Yeah, Randy, have you ever, I know you can now, I guess. Has anybody contacted you about a full run of Flint Comics?
No.
No, since they've been over, the price should go up now.
Yeah, it should, but I couldn't sell them to start with. So
I have it.
Price go up now.
They're out of print.
We're done. I've had a lot of people tell me, especially local people at the shows, that they've got one of everything.
I got a chance to hold the
I have 2 sets.
The mythological issue number 0.
Yeah.
yeah. That you know, I can't confirm or deny his existence, but I got a chance to.
You didn't. I didn't give you one.
No, you only had one, I think.
Oh, I ran across a few more than
Okay.
after you were gone.
Ah,
That's cleaning house. I think I have like 3 or 4 of them.
so Randy, explain to me something.
Yeah.
I got a comic book. Okay. Let's say I got a comic book. Okay. And I printed out issue 0 of the comic. For whatever reason, I'm now looking for ads in my next issue. Issue 1. I've heard people say it before, but how do you go about approaching possible or people you want to exhibit in your book? And let me start by saying I've been telling people, friends of mine, I had one in particular who printed his book. He went in the back of his book and he took business cards and flyers from local businesses and Xeroxed them all on the back of his book. Yeah, Xerox. Yeah, he took a sheet paper, Xeroxed all the cards, like personal business cards, and then put that in the back of his book. I got another friend.
Fine 30 years ago, but I mean today you do that in computer graphics. You don't
Xerox. Right. I got another friend who's done with computer graphics.
After that, he went around asking for money.
No. He didn't do it before. He did it after. But my problem with that is, if you put Charlie's Barbershop in the back of your comic, doesn't that kind of make your book seem extremely local and limited? It doesn't limit. You can sell it
if it's a local business, yeah.
Yeah, but but no one from actually we traveled all over. If I take this book down to Brownsville, Texas, they're not going to give a damn about Lewis's Barbecue Emporium.
Right.
They just don't care. Sorry, Lewis. I didn't mean you had a barbecue.
That run a little bar across the top says this comic or this publication made possible with support by.
Okay. So you guys
on their end.
Now, how do I walk into a store or a local place, or even how do I pitch my book, advertising my book to?
Well, it's a hard sell for a comic that's going all around the country to sell to somebody locally to start with. Second of all, you have to convince them.
Vice versa.
More than likely, you have to catch somebody who understands comics and who understands alternative comics before they're going to invest in you. Okay. Either that or a close relative who just wants to help you out.
So could I walk over to a so let's say
to go to a major corporation in that, you'll have to start small and climb up their ladder all the way to their world headquarters in order to get an ad from them.
So let's say that I'm let's just go back. Let's bring Kmart into the 21st century. And Kmart headquarters, you sit there in Troy. Would it have been wise for me to call first or go up there with my book and say, hey, this is issue 0, but I got issue 1 coming out in 3 months. And I like you guys advertising my comic.
The bigger the corporation, the larger layer, the more layers you're going to have to go through on marketing. 9 times out of 10, if it's a large corporation, they're going to tell you, they're going to give you the classic brush off. Oh, we don't do any marketing here. You have to contact such and such marketing firm and approach them. And that might take another pitch.
Okay.
And at that point, you might want to call them or email them and see if you can get your foot in the door. More than likely, you're not, depending upon how large the company is. But you never know, because you could get in at an advertising company and show them your product, show them the viability of your product, especially, and you have to be moving numbers in order to get their attention, because they're only there for $1 in return. That's all that they're looking at. So then if they're convinced of that, they might have a few other clients that they drag in with them.
Right.
And then you'll be good. But if not, then 9 times out of 10, you're going to be out the door. So you have to develop a really tough skin going in and talking to people and being ready for that no, but also being ready to try to talk people out of it.
I remember.
It's a difficult tightrope, and it's real easy for people to get discouraged.
I remember years ago, my first company, Unlimited Psycho, I still have the magazine, where Metro Times came into my office, downtown Detroit, 4th Street and Brush, unannounced. I mean, show you how the lady opened the door herself and came in, and very, very nice looking lady.
Probably assumed she was going to hit a receptionist inside the door.
Yeah, and I walked out of my office like,
hello?
Yeah, exactly. And she's like, oh, hi, I'm from Metro Times. And she sat down, and the woman could sell water to a well.
Yeah.
Within 15 minutes, she had me locked into a $450 a month ad.
Wow.
With Metro Times.
I'm glad you had the budget for that.
One color.
Yeah.
One color, which was green. She told me green would be the cheapest and the best. And I'm not shitting you. My ad was about this big.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's right.
And,
for how long? A month?
Yeah. Well, yeah, per month would have been $450.
So really, you were paying less than $100 because they come out 4 times a month, right?
Yeah.
Or at the time, were they every other week?
They were weekly.
Were they?
Yeah.
It's not bad for that size of ad.
Yeah.
Considering their circulation, because they hit 30 to 35,000 copies.
Yeah.
The reason I know that is I did research on them and know what they distribute, because they come up here about 2 or 3 years ago up into the Flint area and bumped into the area, put out boxes and stuff. And I was really curious about why they were even bothering to do that. Apparently they decided that it was worth their while because there was a comic paper that had survived up here for, 7 years at that point. So.
Louis, you got any papers down there locally like that?
No.
They
got
which is a surprise because you're in a college town. You should have at least 1 or 2 alternative papers.
Free Times. It's only
what?
We have the Columbia Free Times newspaper, and that has advertisers. But
yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, this woman could sell water so well. She had me locked in but we only did it for a month. And here's the thing: when I say she could sell water so well, I had a store, I had a site, I had a store, but I had no sales coming in from that ad.
None
coming from that ad. Which she said, well, you got to give it longer than a month.
That's shame. Yeah.
And I was like, well, I can't afford to give it longer than a month.
After you stopped the ad, you started having people come in?
Not really. No, I had people come in for jobs asking about employment.
Well, yeah, because you took out an ad.
Yeah.
You must be big enough to hire employees.
Yeah.
I still had people. I had people calling. I still have every once in a while people calling me asking for employment or internships. And they still call that the old number and ask me where my store is. Where's your store? Don't have a store.
Yeah. They I don't know. Like those ads are really tricky, and they even seems to get them in your magazine or your comic. In
your case, it probably would have taken about 3 months worth of ads before you started seeing some decent return. It's a basic rule of advertising. It's the first 2 times people don't even see you. They don't register your ad. 3rd time they notice your ad and they read it. 4th time they read it and decide whether or not they can use your service.
How much was a ad this size in Flint County?
$50, 75 in color.
At a month or?
Yeah, an issue.
Okay. Not bad. Not $450.
No. No, but you weren't $450 a hit either, right? You were $450 a month, or were you $450 a hit?
$450 a month.
Yeah.
Yeah. $450 a month. So
that works down to under 100 and change per issue. That's not bad considering the amount of coverage that I know Metro Times has.
Yeah.
This was how long ago?
This was 2008, 2009. And the cool thing was my first ad appeared in their Michigan State issue.
Okay.
So big circulation issue.
Yeah.
Yep. I figured maybe I'll get some of those college kids.
Yeah. Well, so many people are impatient anymore, and they don't see a return on their advertising. So very few businesses even advertise to start with, let alone advertise with print advertising.
Mhm.
So most of the time they want to be someplace where they know that they're being seen and getting a result. The people that advertised with us, the majority of them were already into comics. You know, especially our regular sponsors. When we had Mott Community College, the guy that was the head of the marketing, we had them for 74 straight issues from really from issue 0.
Mhm.
But once we caught them,
That's-
yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that's
I took your Flint comics to these guys.
uh-huh.
And I had all the locals here in Columbia, and we showed them the stuff. Nah, comics don't sell.
Hmm.
So I was like, "You asses!"
That's a typical uninformed opinion, mostly female oriented.
No, it was guys.
A woman or a guy?
Yeah, it was guys that were saying that stuff.
Well, then obviously it wasn't a guy who knew the value of comics.
Right.
How long ago was that?
You were about 2 years into the run.
Yeah, that was before Avengers probably came out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd have gone back. Now's a good time to go back and go. Comics don't sell.
Yeah.
You know, and that guy's probably not even there anymore.
I have to look back, but you know,
It might be worth approaching him again at this point, because you are in a college town. I know you have a lot of mom and pop businesses down there.
mm-hmm.
You probably sell ads to, so
Oh, yeah.
it might be viable.
I have a question for you guys, and tell me if I was wrong.
You're wrong.
Yeah. What do you do in a situation where a group of employees, we'll call them, inside of your publication, your publishing house, go rogue? And by rogue, I mean you walk into a comic book store, minding your own business, picking up some Marvel DC stuff, and you look upon the 3rd or 4th shelf above your head, mind you,
Mhm.
and you see your trade dress on a comic that you had you greenlit it, but you see no art for it. You see nothing from it, and you say, "What's this?" You snatch the book down, right? Off the shelf. You start going through it, and you're like, "What the hell is this?" And then you flip the credits open, and you see where 3 people that you have working on the book are listed in the book. You're not listed in the book, but they've also started under their names. They've decided to put in parentheses under their names the name of their new company that they're starting. And on top of that, they have taken out, this is where this comes back into our conversation. They have taken out an ad in the back of your book for their new company.
Is it your book?
Yes, it's my book.
Is it a book you printed?
It's a book that was printed. It was yeah. I didn't print it, but it was printed under my company, under our trade dress.
How did that happen?
Yeah, they must have stolen the damn trade dress.
This is what happens when you do not know how to do everything within your company. When you hire other people to do things.
So they stole your name. They stole your company and your trade dress, your cover layout.
No, the book was supposed to come out through me.
Uh-huh.
It was he signed up with me. The book was a creator-owned book. He had signed up with me, but
did it have your name and address inside the cover?
Yeah.
I'd be hitting that retailer up for your percentage.
Well, it wasn't so much the retail I was upset about. It was the fact that these guys had went inside the credits and started a new company within my credits.
Okay.
And then put an ad for their new competing company in the back of my book without consulting me first.
Well, how come you didn't know that was what it was going to look like before I hit the printer?
Again, I knew I was totally oblivious No, and I think it flew under my radar on purpose.
Well, they probably tried to hide it from you, but that means also that you were asleep at the wheel.
Oh, I was. No, there's no doubt about me being asleep.
Don't ever let that happen again. I'd fire the guys immediately, tell them good luck on their company, collect all the money that you can off of the book,
Mhm.
and tell them that they're in breach of their contract.
That happened to me in 2010 because I had just met my wife because you were with me, right? Yeah, and she was like, "What the hell?" And I'm looking in the back of the book. I'm like, "Are you shitting me?" And they started a new competing company within the pages of my book.
Can I?
That's a fool me once, shame on me thing.
Who prayed for the print run?
Shame on you.
Who paid for the print run? That was all set aside. That was all money that was set aside. I had no idea, and they didn't even, mind you.
Basically, they printed their own thing with your trade dress and everything else.
Mm-hmm. We were all
Is plagiarism and fraud.
They fronted the money for it.
Say again.
They fronted the money for it.
For personal copies, yes. Not the copies that went to the stores.
Did they put their personal copies in the stores?
No, not to my knowledge.
How many copies of the book was printed without your knowledge? 25?
No, about 350. About 350.
Again, how the hell did that happen?
Yeah.
They didn't go to my printer either. They went to the printer I have now, but they didn't go to my printer that I had.
They had them POD'd then.
Yeah. They didn't go because I was using Comics Express back then. They didn't go to Comics Express. They went
I don't know what to tell you. They'll never use their work again. Get as much money out of that book as you possibly can, and tell them they're in gross
Yeah, I'd be fine.
violation of their contract. Let them go.
Ted Navy says blasphemy. Sue him. Yeah,
That's pretty much blood from a turnip.
Sew them into the shirts. Yeah.
That's pretty much blood from a turnip. But I would let everybody else know, especially if they ever got work again.
yeah. Well, you know what's funny?
I don't want to discourage you from using this guy, but this is what happened to me.
Yeah, you know what? They have all fallen by the wayside since.
They got what they deserved.
Yeah, they've all fallen by the wayside. It was kind of hard looking at them at Comic Cons after that. Like, you sons of bitches.
Karma's a harsh mistress.
Yeah. I couldn't believe it when they did it. And I'm looking at this thing and I'm like, wow. The one good thing about the situation is that they the website, they did this elaborate ad for the website, right? The bottom row, they misspelled the website. So that was
Dude, I'd take it as a lesson learned and never do it again.
Yeah,
I did on your stuff.
It taught me a lesson. It taught me to control more of my company. It taught me to never hire somebody because I can't do something. Mm-hmm. Learn what it is that I, and only delegate what I can do. Mm-hmm. Because I had given these gentlemen, I gave one guy, the guy who was like the Marine Master, the keys to the kingdom. Mm-hmm. Yeah. He had copies of the trade dress.
Obviously, he knew it. So he took advantage of it.
Yeah. And
any reason why they went behind your back to do it?
I think that it was just, I think that they thought, one of them, the cancerous one, thought that Varian was hiding money. That he's making tons and tons of money. And it's funny because you see, and I'm not bragging, but there's 2 days that happened when that book came out. That book came out and got slaughtered upon release. One of the quotes that I remember, and I can't remember it verbatim, was that this is the worst book that this company's ever put out. And is that I noticed that missing from the credits, which I puffed my chest out about this, missing from the credits was the name of the publisher. Because my name was in the indicia.
Uh-huh.
But my as far as anything in the credits, created by, scripted by, overseen by, edited by, nothing. And so that I got a chance to puff my chest out about that. But the other thing is that they all went off and started their own companies afterwards, and they're no success. I'm not saying I've been the most successful either, but no success. Like they tried and they found. I think they realized. I think they got there real quick and got educated. And that it wasn't that I wasn't sharing this money. It was that there wasn't much being made. I mean, at this point, I had an $850 overhead for my office. I had just taken out a $450 ad Metro Times. Print costs. I mean, you
strike two.
Yeah. There was. I mean, there was
never get yourself an office when you can work out of your house.
I tried to get all the guys together in one place, and I've learned my lesson since because
that's business lesson 1. You work out of your house, it's deductible.
Is it? Is it?
Yeah, talk to an accountant.
Yeah,
I love my accountant.
I had no idea, and I
told Lewis that. I know I told Lewis that story. I got audited once.
Mm-hmm.
Always use an accountant. Never go without an accountant. Keep track of everything that you spend.
Yep.
Because research.
Is it
research? Research. Everything you buy that you can apply to your business. Research, supplies, utilities, cable.
Yep.
Especially because you're in the entertainment business.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is research, especially anymore. Man, everything is research. Everything is research.
Yep.
That's
what I did with last few years. Since
and your electric bill, there's a percentage of your electric bill that you can deduct. It's just talk to an accountant.
Your phone, your electric, your
You have to be ready, which we are at any time that you might be audited.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I've been, I haven't ground anything in the last 10 years, but I've got from 7 years on back. Really, now I guess it's only 5 that you have to worry about or keep basic records on or complete records on, and income basic records on 7.
Mm-hmm.
But talk to always, man. I got an accountant. My first accountant up here used to handle independent farmers out in Lennet. It's small town.
Mm-hmm.
An older lady, she was awesome. Said, "This is what you need. You get yourself a ledger book. You start keeping track to everything. Boom, 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 boom. You write it all down. And then she passed the business over to a nice lady in Flushing, who did the exact same thing. Went over, the figures with us every year. Now I work with a girl out of, or a lady, I should say, out of Swartz Creek, does the same thing. So I'm on my 3rd accountant. They all do the same thing. They're all fantastic. They have a computer program that they just go through. I tell them the figure, they type in the figure, then they tell me how much I'm getting back.
Yep.
And we balance the wife's taxes that she gets taken out of her stuff weekly and up against what I earn. And the only thing I earn is what I can't deduct.
Mm-hmm.
And there have been, especially when I first started, there were a few really hard years that I took a big loss on my side of the business.
Losses.
And that's always wonderful because you get, 1 year, the year I was killing. I did really huge business 1 year, and the commercial art business is feast or famine. Sometimes you have big years, sometimes you have small years. I had a really big year 1 year, and we were all worried going up to the accountant. They said, "Oh, you've got losses accumulated for the last 3 years. We're just going to pile all that up against this, and guess what? Goes away."
Exactly.
So yeah, is that your new column?
Yeah.
It's high horse, huh? Okay.
I
like the illustration. Did you do that?
No, a gentleman from at a show called Replay FX did that for me. I didn't mean to cut you off right now.
No, that's all right. But I was expounding too much anyway. But the commercial art, any type of freelance art, you never want to get caught because there's so many examples of artists out there that have gotten caught with their pants down, keeping track. And because the IRS, once you do get audited, if you don't have the facts there, they guesstimate. And they always guesstimate high.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, I got audited one time because I was doing commercial work for an adult for an adult magazine, and the guy who ran the adult magazine got audited, and they went through his files and audited everybody that he had ever paid. And because I couldn't prove myself for 1 year, they tacked on. I think I ended up having to pay about $1,000 with taxes and interest and whatever compounded from 3 years back and blah, blah, blah. And I couldn't prove it. So I had to pay it. I had to take out a small loan in order to cover my ass. But it's a lesson learned, you know.
Yeah.
I've had an accountant ever since.
Did
And up until this year, once Trump finagled the silly taxes around, and I had a good year, and the wife got severanced out of her previous job and was paid through the end of the year, and had another job on top of that. That I actually had to pay money back to the feds for taxes the first year.
Now, when you did that, yeah, tax is so funny. I don't know.
It is. It's fun. It's like, for me, it's like plumbing. There's just some stuff you got to leave to the professionals, and you keep track. All you have to do is just file once a month. You file everything away. You bounce it up against your checkbook, of course, to make sure everything balances. You keep a ledger of what you spend, especially if you spend it in cash. You keep your receipts. You absolutely keep your receipts. And then you go to an accountant who's got the computer file right there, and she goes, "Well, how many miles did it take for you to drive to a convention? Well, that's deductible. Tick, 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 tick. Did you go to lunch with somebody that you were talking about business? Well, that's deductible. Tick, tick. Well, percentage. Tick, 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 tick. You know." That's what you do. Always use an accountant, because don't do H&R Block, don't do the professional tax services, because all they do is run on a different software where they don't care. B comes in and you have to pay C, and that's all that they care about. But if you have a personal accountant, somebody, you know, and these people, I would visit once a year, maybe twice a year if I had a tax question or if I got something back that was funny. They care about a personal accountant who works out of who's a mom and pop operator, works out of their basement, has been around for years, and you can find them. You just ask your friends, ask your relatives, ask other business people. If you can't find them, hey, who do you have do your accountant? Do you trust? How do you feel about that person? If it's a small person working out of their basement, working out of their house, working out of a small storefront that they've been there for 10 years, that's the accountant that you want. Yeah. Because they're the ones that are going to care about you, and they'll go through every little thing for you. And these people, my accountant loves me because I keep track of the numbers. I have a ledger book, and I can just go in and say, I spent this much, I spent that much. Where a lot of people with these accountants will just bring them a shoebox filled of receipts that they just threw in, and then they have to sit there for hours and go through and sort it out.
And I take all my receipts, but then I put them on a computer and I fill it all out with the receipts and figure out all the dates. And
I just do it in a spiral book. I write it all down. I add it all up. I add it up twice. I do the final tallies. I go visit the accountant, and she just sits there and fills it in.
You write up all your comic purchases as research?
All my what?
Comic purchases.
Yes. All comic purchases, all art supplies, all movies, all videos, all DVDs. It's all research, man, because it all goes into the end product.
Well, you have to figure out if where the business.
All your mileage that you travel, because back when I was delivering the paper, I was putting 125 miles on my car every issue.
Every convention you go, mileage.
All of the expenses for paying the distributor, paying the publisher, paying for the T-shirts, paying for the supplies, all of that, all factors into your end number. Yep. And you'd be amazed at how little, really, seriously, how much money you spend and how little profit you actually get.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean,
that's the way it works. Yeah, well, any freelancer will tell you that.
Yeah.
My biggest worries, and we're still live, so I probably shouldn't talk this out of school. But when I'm teaching class, that's all taxable.
Right.
All the money I get from the class, and there's very little expenses. So it's those kind of jobs that you have to worry about. And then you squirrel away a third, 30% into a savings account, and you wait until the end of the year and make sure, you know, I collect sales tax on some of my clients. I have a tax exempt number for the Zim Graphics business. And we fill out one form a year because the sales tax that I pay is too small for them to ask for it monthly or quarterly. So I pay them once a year. I send them, I keep the money in a savings account, an interest bearing savings account. And you pay the taxes once a year.
You need to go get yourself a new chair and write off on your taxes, Randy.
I can, yes. I just haven't taken the time to do it.
That's
all equipment. That's all equipment. Just like the computer.
Yep.
You know, the systems, the paper shredder, all of that. That's all equipment for the business.
I'm not sure if you guys can see this. Hold on. Let me see if I can bring this up and share it. Probably can't.
But the system is there for a reason. It's there to help the businessman when you get the right accountant who wants to help you help yourself. You know, and that's what you have to do. And I'm not by any means saying that they're doing anything wrong. I know that they're not. And you sleep better at night knowing that you've got your ass covered. You know, that if somebody knocks on your door and does want to audit you, you're not going, holy shit, I'm up the, you know, what if they find out about this or that?
Why?
Yeah. Why do that when you can be you can be legal?
Yeah, I mean, I would think that because I mean, I remember watching my parents get audited once. That was, as a child, it was quite funny. And the reactions were funny.
Well, I know businesses who overpay on purpose. In fact, there's a great there's an interview out there with Michael Moore. I know a lot of people don't care for him, but he had a great interview where he always pays 10 to 12% over.
Really?
Because in a Republican president, under a Republican president or a Republican-run IRS, he's bound to get audited. And when he gets audited, he knows he's going to get money back.
Mm-hmm.
Like, come on, let's go back 7 years. Get ready to write me a check. Let's go. Say what?
I was asking Varian to picture the studio.
Yeah. That was the bullpen. Now the bullpen was in a separate room. Next to the bullpen, I had a smaller office. It was just for me.
Oh, okay.
And then a lobby out front of that.
I was asking if that was what you had now.
No. That was what I had then.
I'd take one of those chairs.
Yeah, I had some of those chairs. You want one?
Do you?
Yeah.
I gave you a red box.
Yeah. I can. I can bring you a chair.
Bring me a chair.
Yeah. You see, what did you say, Lewis?
That's fair trade.
Yeah. That's fair. Yeah, I bring you a chair. Is not a problem.
That'd be awesome, buddy.
So yeah, we are.
And how many issues of your company did you kick out of that office?
We are. You said how many what?
How many issues? How many total comics did you kick out of those wonderful offices that you had? Three. That was not a return on your investment.
No. Techie commented, "You're not here. Liars downvoted." Yeah, we aren't there, Techie. I have stock in there in Wizard though. I needed to see how the show was doing. I have had people from Wizard there though. Let's see if we can get Eric Hodson back.
We had some live remotes. We're just jabbering now.
Yeah.
Every time we're up there, Varian's got somebody straight from the scene.
Yeah. We waiting for those people to come back too, because let me see here. See if I can get. Oops, where is my invite link? There we go. All right. It's here we go. All right. Copy the clipboard. I wonder if let's see here. Let me see here. And then Mr.
IGN is reporting that it's definitely a broken deal.
Uh-oh.
Tom Holland and Kevin Feige confirmed Spider-Man leaving the MCU.
Breaks my heart. But yeah, that was the studio, and as you guys can see, there was the other side of the studio, which you don't see. There was my mother sitting there drinking out of. We had a little restaurant section. You see all those things I got from 7-Eleven to the left there. Standees, Iron Man, Batman, Hulk. They all stayed there, and yeah, I left that table down there. I wish I hadn't. Yeah, I left that table, that round table there. But when we moved out, a lot of exposed brick, lovely place. I loved it, but
couldn't keep it.
Couldn't afford it. After a while, it got way too expensive. It got way too expensive, and it got
fucking reason for you. Pardon me.
No problem.
What else going on?
It got.
I should probably go too anyway, Varian.
Okay, and
then we're past the minute 30 mark. So I think
Yeah.
I come in on the 30 mark. So I've been here for an hour. I should
Yeah.
probably run.
I figured, I wanted to get you guys back in here to talk about that and to talk about what I had learned.
We're talking about stuff we could talk about on Tuesday when we have more indie people listening. So
Oh yeah, and we'll also cover some more stuff that we've discovered about this horrible industry. No, I'm just kidding. This week, and we get a chance to cover this horrible industry. We get a chance to get Eric and
get the super lowdown scoop on the Chicago show.
Yeah, we'll get all the guys here together
because they still have Sunday to go.
Yeah.
Sunny Sunday.
Yeah. All right, you guys take it easy.
What was that you just clipped?
Oh, that was Techie that said, "You're not here, liars." Downvoted.
Oh, did he give you a vote down?
I don't know.
Did he give you a thumbs down?
He may have. I'm not sure.
Techie SOB. That would be your first negative that we've had on this broadcast, isn't it?
I don't know. We should get tons more though. We're
tons more downvotes. We should get tons more listeners.
Yeah.
Are you live right now in Indie Volt?
I am. I'm live on Indie Volt. I'm live on Indie Volt Radio as well. So
thank you, Indie Volt Radio listeners. Thanks for hanging in there.
Over at Indie Volt Radio, we got
listening to our jabbering.
You got 450.
Those stupid Americans.
452.
They're dumb enough to make comics. I guess we'll listen to them.
Yeah,
it could be goofy and stupid.
452 people listening on Indie Volt Radio, which we think
fantastic.
Yeah.
Hey, Zim Geek channel on YouTube. I need subscribers if you'd be so nice.
Yeah.
To go over and subscribe to my Zim Geek channel. ZIMMGEEK.
Yep. And then we have Louis Bright Raven, who's starting his own channel this September. Quote the Raven. Make sure that you check him out. We'll keep you up to date on when that actually drops, as well as
Indie Volt TV on Roku.
That's right. I don't have the graphics pulled up.
Plus the Indie Volt YouTube channel. He doesn't get enough love on YouTube.
Yeah, I don't. The Indie Volt Facebook is taking off. Jesus Christ, it's a lot of people on there. But
I guess you keep posting pictures of your wife from the
yeah. I think I'll just make a whole comic book full of her.
On top of boxes.
Yeah. We're gonna
probably could. I almost did. I almost did a cartoony porn star comic once.
Yeah, that would have been awesome.
But then he realized to reveal his porn career and change his mind.
No, my porn career happened long before that, buddy. Long before that.
All right, you guys have been great.
I'm from Clint, next to Lansing, close to Cincinnati. So
it's been great talking to you guys. I will talk to you shortly. I'm sure
Tuesdays, 9 p.m.
Tuesdays at 9, we are live, and we will cover more of the fallout from people.
Are you doing live tomorrow as well?
I may, because everybody will be nice and tired, and I'll be able to watch the last soul-sucking hours.
Angry and disgusted, yeah. I will not be available.
That's fine. I will shoot you the link of the video though.
Keep me updated.
Yeah.
Let me know on that text stream that I sent you too.
I will.
I was serious about that.
Alrighty.
I want to write stuff. I really do.
Okay. All right. I'll see you guys. Louis.
Bye.
Yeah.
Is that a different cat than you had last time?
No, it's the same one.
Really? That's nice and shiny.
Yeah.
Is it a her or him?
It's a him.
What's his name?
Midnight.
Cool. I got a fluffier one that I call Swiffer. We were gonna call him Yeti when he was a kitten, but he kept crawling underneath a microwave stand that we had and coming out with all these fuzz balls. And I said, no, his name's not Yeti, it's Swiffer.
Yeah, he's just wanting his dinner, that's all.
I hear you.
Yeah. All right, guys. I'll see you guys later.
All right, man. You take it easy. See ya.
Bye.